What's the biggest issue you see in young men today? Obviously, you just had this meet and greet, what do you call it, glitch meetup or DJ meetup, and you met a lot of your fans, young people, probably my age, 21, 22 out there. What would you say is the biggest issue you've noticed in people our age?
It's interesting. I was doing analytics on my account over the last year because I have plenty of data. The average age right now that ranges for my content is anywhere from 26 to 38, which is a lot older than you would presume, which is closer to my age in our demographic. I think the biggest issue that I see is comparison. The internet is a great place of opportunity, but it's also a great place of deception, where people compare themselves to something that they're not.
I suffer with this.
And we all do. And they begin to compare themselves. And comparison is the killer of joy. It's the thief of joy because you're no longer present. You want to be what somebody else is. And you imagine an elusive reality of what somebody else is experiencing. And you think that that other person has all the answers, when in fact, they probably don't. Just because somebody lives in a lavish big home or drives a Bentley or has a phenomenal watch on their wrist doesn't mean they have life figured out. Maybe they have a couple assets, maybe they have money, but if money is all you have, then you don't have much. And I think that social media has done a terrible job at making people realize that this material thing that we live in, this material possessions that we can acquire, is the end all of happiness, and that you're supposed to have a Lamborghini when you're 18 or 19, and if you're not, you're a loser. I was listening to an interview that Pavel Durov from Telegram did recently. He said, I've never bought a supercar, I don't have super yachts, I live in Airbnbs, I just want freedom. And I'm like, okay, this guy that's a multi-billionaire, been buying Bitcoin over the last 10 years, understands the fundamental premise of I don't want things to own me, right? I want to own things, I don't want these things to own me, so understands how to manage his materialistic desires. But in social media, I think it's very easy to see somebody else's life and think that they have it all figured out, when in reality, we're all still trying to figure it out. Look for those content creators that aren't here to sell you a lifestyle, but that want to empower you with becoming the best version of yourself, which is why I love this podcast, because it's based on happiness, self-development, and business, which are the fundamental keys to living a good life. And you've had different aspects of entrepreneurs, and I have a plethora of people, and I think that it's very healthy to find those people that are real and authentic, because authenticity is the premise of a life well lived, because if you don't have authenticity, then you've lost yourself in the process. And I think that's the biggest issue that we face nowadays with men, the comparison that ultimately leads to the killing of joy.
And that was well put. I think especially like when you see social media, the Instagram stories, like it's just real time. What are you doing right now? What am I doing? Whenever someone posts a story, it's likely that what they're doing is fun. And if you're sitting in the office, no matter which door you're opening, they're all doing something better than you. Because if you were just sitting in an office or sitting in a workplace, it's just gonna be a boring setup. But if they're posting on their story, they're out on a yacht. So when you open your stories, you will see like everyone is having fun except you. Because if the fact that they're posting a story means they're doing something interesting. And I think in real time, you look at yourself and you say, like, okay, what am I doing now? And what are these other people doing in this moment? And you just compare yourself, and it just makes you feel so bad, That's why I think a lot of people should spend less time on social media as well. Because I think there's only so much you can limit yourself. How would you stop comparing yourself? Like, what would be the counter? Let's say, for example, if someone today was comparing themselves a lot, how would they stop?
I mean, first is understand that, like you said, people on social media, they just reflect the best aspects of themselves. And that's what social media is for. It should be for business. It shouldn't be there for, when people talk about drama and when people are out here talking about people's personal information. I don't like that. That's gross. I think the internet is about business. I think it's just a vehicle and a channel to materialize things into the real world. And I think that this is what matters, relationships. Like, fuck the cameras, like we're going to dinner after this, we're gonna have a good time. That's what matters. But had it not been through the internet, we would have never been able to do it together.
We never met.
We had the meetup. There was 1,600 people that showed up, 1,600 people in Dubai. I live on the other side of the world. I live in the Caribbean, 1,600 people in Dubai. What matters is the experiences, the hands that you shake, the stories that you listen to. The people that are comparing themselves first need to realize that most things on the internet are just the best versions of people. It's not people's realities, it's just glimpses into people's lives. And for the people who are like, oh, well, those people don't make money. Let me tell you something. People make money. Don't get that mistaken. People make a lot of money on the internet, and people flaunt a lot of their wealth on the internet, but it's not the end all and be all of their lives. The second part is, why do you use social media? Are you a consumer or are you a producer? I use the internet to make money. I use the internet to build community. I use the internet to find connections and relationships. I'm not out here doom scrolling on TikTok, wondering what Kim Kardashian and Lady Gaga are doing on their free time in the Frappuccino that some other bullshit influencers cooking up. I don't care. I'm using it as a producer. And I think the people that use social media as a consumer are the ones that end up being very, very unhappy.
I noticed the watch you're wearing right now, Richard Mille. I just noticed it. Did you buy this recently?
Picked it up in Dubai, tax-free place to pick up some
Just
luxury
this trip?
pieces. Yeah, just bought it from a watch dealer named Aladdin, very good buddy of mine. So
Oh, nice.
just picked it up. Nice little
Congratulations.
67-2 Qatar edition in honor of Messi, because he won the World Cup in Qatar. So shout out to my boy, the GOAT.
Your Argentinian brother.
Yes,
I remember
the
last time you came here, you were telling me like I want you wanted a blue watch, I think, because of Lionel Messi. But it's nice you got a watch that has some connection to.
That was the mindset behind it, and I was filming a vlog with Arab, and I was telling Arab, actually, you know how he's doing you had him on the pod, how he's doing all this extreme of gangsters and mobsters and mafia and all the crazy stuff in the world, whether it's Haiti, Mexico, sicarios. And I was like, maybe you should show people the other extreme of reality, which is the underground wealth, the crazy rich Asians, the stuff that people don't see. It might be a good switch for the channel.
Well, I took him he told me the same thing. He told me he wants to film this. He told me it was your idea. So I took him to a house that had like 13 Rolls Royces.
Crazy.
And like 25 Richard Milles. And he was like, bro, this kid, like it was just some kid from India. So that was insane. I have a question for you. It's a bit of a deep one. Would you rather be broke but very happy? Or would you rather be rich but only slightly happy?
Rich but slightly happy, because happiness is not something that I'm chasing. I think happiness is just an emotion. I think that the people that choose to chase happiness will always end up disappointed, because life is about experiencing a wide range of emotions. I'm not here to just be happy all the time, and people that assume that life is about being happy all the time, or that they're only going to work when they feel like working, or they're only going to, push towards their dreams when they feel like it, when they have a good mood, are the people that end up failing and end up very, very unhappy. Because you can't necessarily, what happens today if your mother dies? What, you're going to be happy for the next week? No, you're going to be devastated. You're going to be extremely sad. You can't be pursuing happiness. What you need to be pursuing is the best version of yourself. And the best version of yourself is a person that pursues experiences in a wide range of emotions, which is everything that life has to offer. Anybody that tells you that life is about happiness is lying to you, because it's not about happiness. Life is about experiencing the fullness of life. And why would you neglect yourself? If you're only here one time on planet Earth, why would you neglect yourself from every potential experience that life has to offer you?
True.